Greetings, everyone. Yesterday, I did not film any of the process of removing the foundation boards because it was just pouring down rain. Carrie got a couple shots when she was here, so I'll show you what that looked like. But Curtis, Wyatt, and I, otherwise known as the Performance Heating and Air team, we ended up removing the rest of the interior foundation forms, and so I have a lot of boards sitting on the around the job site, and I'm going to try to get those cleaned up because Gary, Mark, and Mike will be here in a little bit, and they're going to help me get the foundation, the sill plates on the top of the sills, and we're going to do a couple other things to try to air seal the sills down, and I'll show you what that looks like as well. Here's what the muddy mess from yesterday looked like.
Nevertheless, it's raining. The job site is an absolute mud pit.
The first thing we did was we went around and used a piece of pipe to straighten out all of those anchor bolts. Some of them were a little wonky, all different ways from the cement pour. Next, we took the 15 mil Stego crawl wrap. I got it in the 5-foot wide roll, and I ended up cutting it down the middle, so it was 2.5 feet. So we brought it over the top of the foundation and dropped it down, and then later when I put in the rest of the vapor barrier and the crawl space, it'll tie into the part that's hanging down the wall. And then on top of the 15 mil wrap, we are adding the sill gasket, which is about 1/4 inch thick and 5.5 inches wide. So that will sit directly under the sill plate. So between that and the vapor barrier, that should seal off the crawl space area pretty well. Then we found all the holes in the sill plate and routed it out so the washer could drop right down in there in the nut, and it is most of these are flush with the top of the sill plate, or otherwise we'll just have to trim out a little bit of the flooring that will come out over the top of these.
My little friend. Oh, no. What are you doing? Who's a good girl? No. Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Nobody. Ollie. Okay.
we are done for the day.
Yep.
It was great having Gary, Mike, and Mark here. The mud sills seemed to be going a little slower than anticipated, but it was kind of the design that we had with the floor joists hanging on the inside. So we had to countersink all the bolts and washers, or excuse me, the washer and the nuts.
We changed the bit on the router twice or once, and then used that entirely different bit altogether.
Yeah, so it was 1/2 inch. We were taking out a 1/2 inch of wood at a time rather than a quarter. So
It was a big.
that sped things up. And then we also got a 2.5 inch auger, Forester bit, I think they call them, and that helped. So Mark was able to drill down quite a bit. So then he only really had to route the edges for the depth, or for the square washer. So that sped things up a little bit. So pretty happy with the progress. The guys also helped me strip a bunch of the outside forms off about half the house. So that was a plus too.
Yep.
So they're filling in time where they can, stripping forms when they're not putting the mud sills down. So
Yes.
Awesome.
Way more helpful than if you were trying to do this by yourself.
yeah, it would look pretty boring.
It's not boring?
With that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
On the next exciting one. Yeah.